Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans Farm. Today is an exciting day because it is the first day of the planting season in the greenhouse. But before we start, we still have a couple things we have to get ready, like get our plastic cover for overtops of seed trays ready and cut and trimmed, because we need 4 different sections. We need one for here, there, over there, and here. And what that does is, you'll see later on in this video, but at night we take that plastic and we cover over top anything that we seeded, or most things that we seeded, if it needs it. That way it keeps it a little bit warmer underneath that plastic covering. So I got 2 sheets cut, ready to go. Now I'm out here. I just got my tub filled with my dirt for the seed trays, and I got my setup over here ready to start seeding. The only thing is, the soil kind of froze and it's in these chunks and it's really hard to break apart. So I'm gonna try and put this in front of the heater and get it to warm up and break apart, because I really can't use it the way it is right now. Try and bust it up so it thaws quicker. So for some reason, this fitting here for the vacuum is really loose. So I'm just gonna wrap it with a bunch of electrical tape, try and beef it up, that way it has a tight fit. Then I'm gonna throw a zip tie on it. But with these wires inside of here, you really can't clamp it down none. So I'm gonna try this and see if it works. If I can use the whole roll. Oh, great. Oh, there it goes. Perfect. Stop over here quick. That's a beauty. So now, I'll put this back on the vacuum over here. So that goes on there tight. Now I gotta do now is basically just hold that on there, and I think if I put 1 or 2 zip ties on, that should hold it. Wrong way. What the heck? I hope. There's one. This one on the other way. Okay, so I covered it with electrical tape on the outside, so that way when I'm picking this thing up to flip it onto my seed tray, I'm not cutting my hand every time. So that's pretty nice. There should almost be no air leakage whatsoever, because I have it electrical taped right to the actual fitting now. This is on there really tight. So basically, turn this on. Really good. Okay, so here we are now the next day. The soil thawed out. We actually took it home and put it in our house just because we didn't want to have any problems today, which now, as you can see, everything, even the little chunks, they just crumble like it's nothing. I can easily mulch that up and it'll be perfect to go inside the 512 seed trays. Over here, last year at the tail end of the season, we started using this electronic label maker. We used to write them out by hand on these little like rectangular tags, and then we'd staple them to the ends of every flat. I don't know if you can see those little holes in there. But then at the end of the season, if we wanted to reuse them, we had to take a pair of pliers and take that staple out, which made it a huge nuisance. So now we started using this.
That's a little bit big.
And so now all we have to do with this is take that back off. It's sticky, and we can stick it right onto there. Or if we're doing multiple different varieties on one flat, we can put it on here. We can also adjust the size and the font, whatever we want to do. So we can make it smaller or bigger, whatever it takes. That's huge. That doesn't need to be big.
Well, that's the next size smaller. Right, I'm feeling it out. I thought 24 would have been good, but we're gonna go next size smaller.
So obviously we're still getting this thing figured out. We actually use this at our farm market for labeling our breads and stuff like that. It could be that big, it's not really an issue. The problem is that we're just wasting a lot of that film or whatever you want to call it. Here was our first. You can see how huge it is. Second, made it a little smaller, and this is the one we're gonna go with. You can see it's only wasting about half of the film, and there's no problem reading. Can you get rid of that big white spot, or no?
No.
That has to be there.
That's the way it is. You just have to cut it off if you want.
Alrighty, so step one, grabbing my tray. Step two, fill it with dirt. Now usually if I was using the other tags where I have to staple them on, I would have to put the tags on first, but I'm not really worried about it with these sticky ones now. And because there's still some little chunks in the dirt, I kind of take and just roll it through my hands a little bit to get all those chunks out. And once I think I have enough, level it out. I don't want to pack it in. I don't want that dirt to be packed. I'll just kind of feather it over lightly. Once everything's full and nice, I'll run my fingers down the edges, get all that extra dirt off. So I already immediately regret putting that dirt in there first. I don't know what I was thinking, because once you get that dirt on there, it's hard to get the sticker to stick. So I cleaned it as best I could. And I only have 3 more types of geraniums, so I only need 3 stickers. And it looks like it's sticking pretty good. Okay, now for step 3, I'll take this and make my indentions down into my flat for the seed to sit into. I don't want to press down real hard and make the indentions too big, but I want to make sure it's enough for the seed to sit in there nice and be able to get covered with enough dirt or vermiculite. That's pretty good. Place it in my holder. Now I'm ready to start seeding. Now it's bringing suction to all these holes. My seeds. And then in here they are. There's only 100 in this pack. here for a while now and getting back in the groove of things a little bit. As I was seeding, and it's hard to see, right here is some that I got done. You can see little yellow pellets in there. As I was seeding, Mom was covering the flats with vermiculite, and we didn't realize until actually we got those 6 done that this is a coarser or medium coarse, I guess you could say, vermiculite, and we usually use a fine. I think it's gonna be fine, but I guess we'll wait and see. It's just gonna be a little bit heavier on top, but like I said, I don't think it's gonna matter too much. So got those 6 done, got snapdragons done. Now I'm just about to get on to portulacas. And this year when we're ordering seeds, which I said in my previous video, we try to get a lot more pelleted. It makes it go a lot faster because it's easier for me to separate the seeds when they're on these little holes and there's not no doubles and triples and stuff like that. So I'll show you here in this one, like right here from Express. This is a Portulaca Happy Trails, and inside of here, if you can see that, is a bunch of the little yellow pellets. And instead of having non-pelleted and they all cluster up, usually with the pelleted you only get 1 in each one. So I'll lay these down on here and we'll see what happens. And there you can see there's all the little pellets. I was only doing a 3/4 flat on this particular variety. So once I get them seeded, they come into here where we put the vermiculite on them. Now usually we have a little bowl and we put the vermiculite in it and shake it out, but our bowl has either been misplaced or broke. We're pretty sure it's broke because we usually don't misplace things. So we're just using our hands for today, and we're gonna have to get a bowl for tomorrow. So then once my flats are filled with vermiculite, I'll get the hose and I'll water them. The biggest thing is that I don't want to get the hose too close or I'll blow that vermiculite back off, especially since this vermiculite is brand new and it's very kind of powdery and it just wants to blow off very easily. First day of seeding is complete. Like I said, we got everything watered. Now we got the plastic over top to keep that heat in, kind of like another greenhouse effect. And now we got the heat mats turned on, our probes in, and now we have our temperature probes in the flat telling us how warm it is. That way we know it's not too cold or too hot. So that right there is still going up in temperature. We want it around like 70, 72, and then this one over here says 71. So then tomorrow I'm basically going to do the same thing again, and fill up this section and maybe even this section